Comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. Hang murderers. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como ye. God save the Queen.
Broadcasting live from ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas, and of course on Radio 105.3 FM The Beat. If I was talking to my people, the Haitian people, I would have said broadcasting live on 105.3 FM. Batla, The Beat. So I welcome everybody around the Commonwealth of the Bahamas and here in the world. Well, today there are two breaking news. One coming out of Grand Turtle Key, where BC once again cut off the lights. And I don't know how them poor Conky Joe people are going to make out, because the Negro people are calling me from Grand Turtle Key to tell me they can't take the heat. But the lights are off. Well, don't blame me. I didn't vote. I went to the beach. So that is the first breaking news, and it is my hope that BPL will please turn the lights on in Grand Turtle Key, because it is affecting tourism. And then this afternoon, according to a Negro employer working at the National Insurance Office here on Blue Hill Road, the workers walked off for 15 minutes. They pulled a strike. But tomorrow, they're going to show management that the workers in the Bahamas don't play. So they're going to be a general strike tomorrow at National Insurance. And I want them to know that they have my support. And listen, if there's a strike, you have to march, or I ain't coming to look at it. So strike. Lights are off. There are some of the things that we are going to discuss. But greater than that, Dr. Hubert Minnis has signed a bogus agreement. And when I come back, I will tell you how Hubert Alexander Ingram would have dealt with something like this. But Minnis ain't no Ingram. He's a Hubert. He's an Alexander, but he's not an Ingram. I'm going to tell you that when Hubert Alexander Ingram was faced with the South African man named Solomon Kirshner, Kirshner didn't have his papers intact the first time. Ingram told Kirshner, Mr. Kirshner, go back, prepare all your documents, and then come to see me. And Kirshner went back, redone his documents, and when Papa got it, Papa approved it. I can tell you, I'm going to show you how Hubert Alexander Ingram, the former Prime Minister, he understands how to manage government. And I'm going to show you that Papa never prematurely approved anything. You hear me? Anything, unless there was an environmental, go ahead.
Assessment done.
Impact.
Environmental impact assessment.
Yes, that's how Papa did it. You hear me? I will also tell you that Papa was surrounded by environmentalists. And Papa never made an environmental move unless he can talk. I'm going to show the F&M that while Hubert Ingram did not tell me this, he told it to me. Isn't that a mystery?
Time.
And so, my folks, relax.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on 105.3 FM The Beat. That's radio. Please spread the word that Freedom March is broadcasting live on radio. And of course, we are also broadcasting live on ILTV. That's cable channel 224 and BTC Flow 112. My name is Rodney Monker. Praise the Lord. Ras Denaro Thompson is in studio with me. He's going to read the Holy Scripture. Ras, welcome to Freedom March.
Ms. Monker, good afternoon. Always a pleasure to be here on Freedom March. I thank you. I'm going to read the parable of the lost sheep, taken from Luke 15, chapter 15, verses 1 through 7. Now the tax collectors and sinners were all gathering around to hear Jesus. But the Pharisees and the teachers of the law muttered, "This man welcomes sinners and eats with them." Then Jesus told them this parable. Suppose one of you has 100 sheep and loses one of them. Doesn't he leave the 99 in the open country and go after the lost sheep until he finds it? And when he finds it, he joyfully puts it on his shoulders and goes home. Then he calls his friends and neighbors together and says, "Rejoice with me, I have found my lost sheep." I tell you that in the same way, there'll be more rejoicing in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous persons who do not repent. Mr. Monker, this ends the scripture reading for this afternoon.
May Jesus' name be praised. Well, folks, on the Facebook page of the Negro former St. Augustine College student, C.A. Smith, C.A.
Nuri.
I apologize. C.A. Nuri. Well, C.A. Nuri is reporting that Tim Ryder, remember Tim Ryder, the white Canadian man who you all invited to speak? And when the man spoke honestly, all of you Negroes got offended? Well, he was the man who talked about the education here in the Bahamas. And all of the Negro people got upset. I understand. It is more painful when the white people say it. But you can live with it when the Negroes say it. Well, he, having said it, somebody has called him home. And so C.A. Nuri is reporting that Tim Ryder from the Royal Bank of Canada, he's the senior vice president for sales here in the Caribbean and the Bahamas. He has announced his intention to retire effectively February the 28th, 2018. But I have a good friend by the name of Brian Lyndon Smith. That's his birthday. I think I'll celebrate then. So he is gone, and this is how C.A. Nuri described him. And I quote, "The balls of this Negro came to the Bahamas, made millions on the backs of Bahamians only, to call all Bahamians incompetent and stupid, and expect to stay freaking employed here. Boss man, carry your silly home. No more sun and sea for you." He really said carry your, you know?
Yeah, you can't say that though.
Yeah, of course you can say it, because Jesus rode on one of them.
Okay.
It's a donkey.
So, Mr. Monker, so many persons said that what he said may be true about the system, but they didn't like that he said it.
Okay, well, that's the way it works out. It's more painful when the white man say it, okay? Anyway, that is that. Now, there is a Negro man who's on my mind. His name is what? He's a Brennan. I just had his name in my head, and it slipped my mind.
Brennan?
Prince Brennan. Prince Brennan, for most of you pedestrians and motorists who drive along Market Street in the area of Purity Bakery, you will find a Negro man sometimes confined to a wheelchair. Sometimes he's sitting on the ground. Sometimes, depending on the hour of the day or the hour of the night, you can find him either sleeping outside the People's Penny Saving Bank, formerly Purity Bakery, or down the road where Mr. Russell used to make hamburgers. The family of this man loves him, and they've done everything to provide him with a home, and even in some instance to take him to a shelter. But he loves his freedom. He loves roaming the street and laying on the ground. Some nights as I pass, it is a sight to behold. And I thank God that motorists so far has been very cautious and responsible and have avoided running over him. But there's an injustice that is being committed upon him. And I wonder where Urban Renewal, Bainstown, and Grantstown police are. Because I have received reports in the District of New Providence that disturbs me. That there are a number of Negro teenage males who stones him, who take rocks and lick him. And I think it must be condemned.
Yeah, you have to condemn that, Mr. Monka. That's wrong. You have to condemn that.
And I call on the police as they do their patrol that a part of their spot check is to stop and see if Prince Brennan is safe. I'm annoyed when I got that report that people are so mean and cold to take rock and lick that man. I want it to stop. And I think that the Royal Bahamas Police Force should be aware of it. If they're not aware, I call on the police in the course of their patrol to pull on the side, walk over to him, ask him how his things, no matter how he looks. I know sometimes he looks half naked. Sometimes he looks like he only has a jockey on. Right? I understand that. But he is a human being.
Absolutely.
He's a citizen of the Bahamas. And notwithstanding what his social problems are, no one has a right to stone him. And I call on the young men of Grantstown. I want you all to stop it. Come on. You all have a heart. How dare you all take rocks and think it's a big joke and lick this man?
No, man, that's terrible, Mr. Monka.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
Have you seen the man?
I know you're talking about. He's on the left-hand side as you drive south on Market Street.
Right. Let's call that eastern side.
Yeah, eastern side of Market Street.
He's on the eastern side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's a disgrace, and I don't like it. I want you all to stop. Because if I am passing and I see people throwing rock after them, after him, remember, I'm a justice of the peace. I'm going to ask the police to arrest y'all and charge y'all. And depending on the mood I'm in, I may pick up some rock and fling it after y'all. And that's against the law. I want y'all to stop it,
No, man, don't do that.
It's a national disgrace that y'all could be seeing a man who's obviously have some socio-psychological problem, and you think it's a joke to take rock and lick the man, culminating in the man having to get medical attention. I want it to stop. And I call on Scrooge. Scrooge.
Valentino.
I want you to talk to the men in your neighborhood. I'm not suggesting that they come from there, but I want you to talk to them. It's a national disgrace that Prince Brennan, and be careful, because don't mind Prince look like that. Prince came from some very good people. And I want it to stop. It's been on my mind from a Negro man appeared before me on the 12th of February and complained to me that teenagers are stoning this man.
That has to be condemned. Mr. Monk, how can we instill a sense of social consciousness into our young men to know that, hey, these people are still a part of our society and they should be respected no matter their present circumstance?
Well, essentially, you have a series of social collapse. Gone are the days when we encourage our young men to go to Sunday school. I don't know if these government schools continue to hold assembly under their prayer. And then, of course, to what extent are students being exposed to social work within the inner communities?
Inner cities.
All right? So it calls for parents to talk to their children, and it calls for the school to educate, because we can only change minds if we are continuously educating
Absolutely.
our people. Other than that, I'm going to look for one white man to call you all stupid. Then y'all could deport him after that. Okay? Want y'all to stop it. Listen, I'm wearing the second necktie given to me at a high-level meeting on Sunday with former Prime Minister Hubert Alexander Ingram. And this necktie was presented to me at that high-level meeting by the former F&M parliamentarian, the Conkey Joe man, Richard Dick Lightburn. Okay? Richard, I thank you. And
That's a nice tie, Rodney.
of course it is.
It's a very nice tie.
Yeah.
He has a good taste.
Oh, all you got is taste. Yeah. So, Richard Lightburn, I thank you. This is day 2 of wearing your tie. So tomorrow, I'll look to see whether or not I should wear Papa tie, your tie, or one of the woman them necktie, bow tie. So this is powerful.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we must condemn what happened.
We have to condemn that
Yeah.
wholeheartedly. We can't throw rocks at someone, no matter who he is.
Right. Man confined. Don't forget now, we had a Negro male who was paralyzed and confined to a wheelchair. And somebody shot him. Shot him dead
While in the wheelchair.
while in the wheelchair.
Wow.
I don't know if the police even solved that crime. All
Wow.
right? So you're talking about man's inhumanity to man. And I call on citizens, as you are driving along Market Street, say a kind word to Prince Brennan and offer him
Yeah,
a nice cold water. And to the woman them, y'all do a little social, stop by, and see how he's doing. I understand that sometimes we come up with all kind of reasons as to why we should not do it. But let us not forget that this Negro man was made in the image of God.
Absolutely.
And I want people to stop throwing rock at him. You hear me? Y'all stop that. Goodness of mercy. Ah, boy. Anything else you want to say on that, Ross?
Well, Mr. Monkey, I'm just surprised and shocked that young man would do such a terrible act. I can't imagine that.
Yeah.
Throw rocks at him.
Right.
There's a man who can't get up and defend himself.
Not only that, he was unable to run. You follow my point?
Obviously, Mr. Monkey.
If somebody was throwing rock at me, at least I could break off run.
Yeah, but
But in his case, the most he could do was to turn his head to avoid getting lick in his face.
No,
I think it's
we have to-
disgusting.
we have to find those young men. They have to
They have to
seek
repent.
punishment.
Yeah.
They got to be punished for that action.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's terrible.
Oh boy, I don't know what I can do. Lord, I bring my people before you, and I ask you, dear Jesus, to change our wicked mind and make our hearts pure and just. Well, what should I talk about? On my mind is marital rape. On my mind is this bomb a nation that the Prime Minister signed yesterday. And I'm going to tell you a story.
Mr. Monkey, you spoke last week. How did that speaking engagement go at the
At Cedar? At the
Kiwanis? Yeah,
Kiwanis?
You spoke there, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go
Okay.
over that. I'm going to go over that. I'm going to pay special attention to that because Carl Bettel isn't aware that I have in my possession one of the most controversial files. And Carl, listen, stop trying to put rape on decent married man. Because if I pull this ace on you, you wouldn't speak to me until we about 90. So I want you to stop it because all I got is information. Remember, whenever I sit with the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, Papa is good. Papa's giving me information and I even don't realize Papa giving it to me.
But Papa say don't speak some of that information now.
Some things Papa say I mustn't say, but he say one thing I mustn't do.
Don't lie, eh?
Don't lie. So if I miss and say what Papa told me, as long as it is not a lie. And Carl, listen, I want you to know it. When I sit with the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, Papa speaks to me. Sometimes when Papa is talking to me, I am not even aware that Papa give me the information. And when I walk away, I don't be sure where I got it from. So Carl, I'm coming after you again. I want you to repent. That document you sent to the Christian Council, I want you to know that I have been married longer than the president of the Christian Council. And I'm older than the president of the Christian Council. I'm old enough to be his uncle. You hear me? So everything I was doing before him, m'a marié avant lui. I was married before him. M'a fait bagay avant lui. I made love before him. You hear me? So, I'm insulted that this young president of the Christian Council can have this document, and me, who's been married for all these years, way before him. When I got married, he was in primary school or junior school, primary school. So I'm older than him. You hear me? Married before him, making love before him. I m'apkune femme la avant lui. I know about woman before him. All right? So I'm demanding it, Carl. And Carl, I'm older than you. All right? And you've committed a sin that I got you in. When I knew you, you were very tight with the Greek stem. You remember the Greek you used to bring to Black Village to see me? But I sent a Greek man to you to give justice, Carl. And you turned out to be anti-Greek. When I first was introduced to young people who were Greek, you introduced me. You think I forgot it? Watch out for me. I remember. And Carl, I'm coming after you because you have been unkind to that Greek man. The Greek architect, Carl. I sent him to you, but you let me down. I have the blessing of Papa to veil up your backside. Papa, I'm coming for Carl. This is Freedom March. Papa has educated me, and I'm on the move. Carl, I'm coming after you, unless you repent.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. Comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. We are also broadcasting live on radio. I have to say, praise the Lord. So our radio station is 105.3 FM, The Beat, or in Haitian Creole, 105.3 FM, Batla. So I welcome everybody back to Freedom March. Well, folks, there has been controversy at the National Insurance Board. The workers, them, are complaining over the fact that they're not getting monies that are due to them. And then, of course, we know that the Minister of Health, Dr. Dwayne Sands, has been advocating that we need a sin tax to pay for national health insurance and our national insurance. I want to go back so that I can bring a new light to this issue. Let us not forget that national insurance was first introduced to the Bahamas in 1974 by Pinling and the PLP. I could recall, as a teenager, having just come out of high school, the controversy that Pinling and the PLP face from the F&M and remnant supporters of the UBP, who had amalgamated with the Free PLP to establish what we call today the F&M. Pinling caught a lot of hell. I can remember one woman saying that she is not a widower. Y'all saw like y'all cut off this mic. That she's not a widower because she's not a widow. Say her husband is the widower because he dead. But as the time progressed, the PLP established a solid social foundation to help our people as they age and should they become ill. And then we saw that Ingram and the F&M moved to build on national insurance. But there was a fundamental mistake that Pinling and the PLP made with national insurance. And we saw Ingram doing the same thing. All right? And what was it? The national insurance money should have been left in the bank only to be used on those who are contributors. But because Pinling and the PLP saw that it was a huge slush fund with millions of dollars, the PLP made a terrible mistake when they began to invest the national insurance money in the construction of buildings. They lend BEC millions of dollars. They lend Batelco. They lend different government corporations. You hear me? And guess what happened? As you lend out this money or use the money in investments that could not generate a profit, a return, there was no place or no way to replace it. And so today, we now have this complaint over the danger of the national insurance funds being depleted, so that by the time many of us reach the age for the entitlement, we will not be able to get it. But I thank God that I have the solution to the national insurance problem, and I'm not going to be selfish. I'm going to share it. You can tell ministers how to solve it. Let us go to BEC. Let's use this figure as an example. I'm not saying this is the figure because I don't have that fact in my presence. But let's say, for instance, that we lend BEC $5 million. You now demand that BEC return the $5 million and you put it in national insurance. Let's go to water and sewage. How much money did we lend them? Will we make them take the money out of their accounts and we return it to national insurance? And every government ministry, every government agency that we took the national insurance money, the people's money, to spend on bad investment, you make those agencies cough up the money now and put it there. And if we do that, guess what will happen? National insurance will have all the money it needs to take care of its expenditures. I don't want nobody to dismiss what I'm saying, Because let us understand, we are not supposed to invest the national insurance money in projects that we know will not generate. I'm going to take you on Farrington Road, where the Parliamentary Commissioner's office is located. That used to be the National Insurance Building. Couple people almost went to jail and are prosecuted when they pulled a scheme when that building was either being purchased or sold. You hear me? So all that money, who is occupying that building and are they paying rent? And if it's the commissioner, meaning the parliamentary commissioner, then I demand that Peter Turnquest, the Minister of Finance, find the money and pay it back into national insurance. So these problems can easily be solved. And we solve those problems by asking the various government agencies to return the money. And to the extent that the agency does not personally have the money, then Peter the pumpkin eater, tell him find it. That's how you solve the money. And the next thing you will know, the national insurance will have millions and millions of dollars and it will not be depleted. That's how you solve it. And then going forward, we need legislation in place to prevent successive governments from taking the national insurance money and spending it on these political projects, which does not give us the kind of economic return. And that is what we have to demand. And should we do that, millions of dollars will go into the national insurance. So mama them would be able to get their old age pension and all the other people who are entitled. Because let me tell you what they have done. In 1974, when Pinling introduced the national insurance, I was an apprentice cook at the Nassau Beach Hotel, and they deducted my money and paid it to national insurance. I have lived long enough that national insurance tell me they lost my file. You hear me? That's what they told me. And then, on the 22nd of December, 1975, I work at the Sunderland's Rehabilitation Center as a kitchen porter, subsequently as a store manager, and after that, as an attendant on the ward. But national insurance tell me that notwithstanding that I worked for the Ministry of Health and they did deduct my money, they say they can't find out also. You see how they're dealing with the matter? They're making sure that since they can't find the money, they're making sure that they are making sure that they lost the record. Now when it's time for my funeral, my poor wife wouldn't be able to get the little $1,500 because they will argue that I never paid. When in fact, the Nassau Beach Hotel, and guess what they tell me I must do? They say I have to prove that the Nassau Beach Hotel deducted my money. So I told them I can't find that man. I forget what the name of that white man who run Caterpillar. He was one of the top management. And they told me I got to go get them to confirm. And when I argue, I can't find these people. They say, well, go to the union. Let the union check their record. And if the union say, then they tell me, go to the treasurer. The treasurer got my money now and wouldn't pay me. Because I authorized the government where to put my money. And the treasurer sent the money to the wrong place. All kind of foolishness taking place in this country. And I want the treasurer to hurry up and get my check before I come, then carry on. All right? So that's what's going on. And if we put in place legislation, all right? then we must stop national insurance from taking the people's money and investing it in idle political project. That's how you save the money. It's put there to take care of the people them. Old age pensioners, mama and papa them, those who are unemployed, those who are victims of industrial accident and by grab. Those picky teeth Montobis, they're nothing but a bunch of frying pan. And therein lies the genesis to the economic collapse of national insurance. So I am happy to hear that the workers will strike. Workers, when you strike, strike with all your might. You hear me? And as you march, you have to go into the streets. And I want you all to march straight to Brensel Roll office. He's in the eastern block of the Ministry of Health building. And I want you to raise this battle song of the union. We will never let the workers stand. Because when we strike with all our might, in spite of all the things they say or do, we will never let the union down. Oh, it's powerful. But my spiritual advisor, praise the Lord, is here with me. Bradley Roll, how are you?
I am doing great, Mr. Monica. You seem to be making quite a bit of stir today, man. What's happening?
Well,
making plenty noise. What's going on?
My spiritual advisor, National Insurance. Their problem is that the workers are not being paid, and they took a 15-minute strike.
Okay.
And they sent me a message. They asked me for my blessing.
That strike was legal?
All strikes are legal. And I told them to strike with all their might, and they have to march. So I expect them to strike tomorrow.
Okay, so what's the problem? Why aren't they being paid? What's the issue here?
I don't know why the F&M don't pay these people. You know the way it goes. So I
all
really
right, so
don't
let's
know.
investigate first before you make any kind of assumption or wrong conclusion. Let's find out why they're not being paid. Mind you, they should be paid. Every worker deserves his wages. That's what the scripture says.
What does the scripture say?
Exactly, that's what it says. That exactly.
Yeah.
The worker is well deserving of his wages. So let's find out what's happening first, before you rant and rave, because apparently that's all you're doing today.
No, you didn't hear what I had to say. I'm complaining over the fact that the monies are being depleted, and Dr. Dwayne Sands want to charge a sin tax.
Oh,
I trying to figure out.
I think it makes sense, because
So when I'm cursing, will there be a sin tax for that?
well, God is going to deal with you for that.
What
person,
about
Mr.
keeping
Monica.
sweetheart?
God
Is
will-
there a sin tax for that?
Listen, Mr. Monica, a lot of our people have been engaging over the years in unhealthy eating and drinking habits. Mind you, I believe you do have a choice. Honestly, I do believe you have a choice if you want to do that. But you got to look at the long-term benefits as far as health is concerned, and as well as the, what's the word I'm looking for, the disadvantage with smoking, drinking,
You think the F&M believe in that?
eating certain...
Do you believe that the
Right.
F&M is concerned about smoking?
Well, health-wise as a nation, or,
You think the F&M who want legalize marijuana? Huh?
I guess, Mr. Monica, the studies on marijuana, if we're going to go down that road, for medical purposes, might be
They're
the
not talking
avenue
about medical purposes.
the
They're talking
government may
about
decide to go,
They're talking about loose dope. And I'm suspicious because I'm 61 and I remember when many of them used to smoke dope. Yeah.
But as relates to the sin tax,
What's sin tax?
you can understand why the Minister of Health is concerned about that, all right? Because, quite frankly, a lot of us, even myself...
You committing sins?
No, at my height, I should not be the weight that I am.
How much weight you
All right.
you got?
I'm 5'6".
Okay.
I should be about 120 or 125 pounds. Right?
So you're big and fat now then?
I put on a lot of weight because
Really?
I have some unhealthy eating habits.
What
You
what
eat
is it that you're eating?
Eat late at night and go to sleep. It's dangerous to do that.
Okay.
I must break out of that. So you could understand the health. I mean the syntax. You know, smoking is extremely unhealthy. You know, chronic drinking excessively, certain foods you eat do affect your health. Red meat and so on and so forth. So I might could go along with the Minister of Health in introducing a syntax. Maybe it would help our people to think about,
Well,
eating
Dr.
healthy.
Sands should tell the people then what he told me. He said I must eat green banana,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So I boiled my green banana.
Mm-hmm.
So he should tell everybody to do some backyard farming.
Yeah.
Plant little banana,
Yam and potato.
little yam,
and, yeah.
little
things of that
cassava,
nature. Yeah.
little
Onion,
Eddie.
sweet pepper.
Yeah. Little okra.
Carrots, things of that nature.
Plant some bean.
Yeah.
And then when the beans come, you plant
Yeah.
some corn.
I'll say this much, Mr. Monica. There is some advantages to eating healthy. Honestly, there is.
Okay.
You
But can we
live a
afford
healthier
to
life, you
buy
live longer.
food at a more reasonable cost?
That's the problem. The healthier foods are more expensive.
More expensive.
And
What
if,
are they?
If you look
You mean
at,
like what? Lettuce and tomatoes?
yeah, the healthier food, like certain type fish, you get, salmon. Salmon is...
Well, we don't grow salmon in the Bahamas.
No, I'm talking about import.
What about grouper?
Yeah,
Could have some-
well,
What about some
grouper,
jacks?
some people has placed grouper in the scavenger department.
Then what
in that
about
it-
that
it-
sweet, delicious fish?
Is that what? Tuna? No?
Not tuna.
Margaret fish? No?
No.
Barracuda?
What about some barracuda?
You gotta eat barracuda during rest.
Huh?
Eat it during rest. But of course, eating healthy is important, Mr. Monica. But
Very
of course,
important.
we have a choice. I don't condemn anybody if they decide to eat certain foods. The Bible doesn't either. So
Okay.
you know what I mean. But if you want to live a long, healthy life, yeah.
Okay.
Changing eating habits is important.
Well, my spiritual advisor,
Mm.
let's look at today's Tribune. There is a story written by the Negro reporter, Rashad Roll. And he is the Tribune staff reporter. And he says in the Tribune today that the multi-billion-dollar Urban Energies project for East Grand Bahama has passed the government's due diligence assessment. Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis and officials of the Earl Refinery and Storage Company said yesterday. Well, let me stop there, because this called for a rebuttal. Dr. Minnis, my God, why are you allowing this project to go through when you do not have an environmental impact assessment report? That is not how Hubert Ingram did it. Before the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram approve it, he demands that you start off with the environmental improvement
Impact study.
Impact studies. Thank you, my spiritual advisor. That is it. That is then assigned or attached to a cabinet paper after the Bahamas Investment Authority would have examined the financial record. Are these white people U.S. citizens? If they are, have you gotten an FBI report on them? And have you demanded what is the IRS report on their financial standing?
The funding,
You hear me?
Yeah, I understand all that.
Because, see, I want to point out something here. That's the way Hubert Ingram has done it. And anybody who's not doing it the way that Hubert Alexander Ingram has done it, they ain't saved, they ain't sanctified, and they're being used. This here is evidence of desperation, because the PLP in 2016, it is my understanding I've not been able to contact Philip Brave Davis to confirm it. But I depend on an honest Negro man who informed me that the PLP had given an approval subject to these groups of people doing an environmental impact assessment. And that was in 2016. My God, 2 years later, and they ain't do it yet. 2 years later, and they ain't do it yet. The question is why? Y'all better be careful, because Papa live. And when Hubert Ingram doesn't talk to me, Papa has within the country all kind of people who are assigned to educate me. Sometimes Papa hide his hand, but I know his hand because Papa got a big hand. Papa hand is everywhere. How come the PLP could tell this group we need the environmental impact report? Why has it not been produced? Papa, why has Minis not demanded it? But I want y'all to know that the F&M that support Hubert Alexander Ingram has told me why. This group does not want to spend what they call, it's a big word, sunk costs. What is sunk costs? What is it? Minister, you know what is sunk costs? Sunk costs is the money that must be invested in advance of the project, and you may not be able to get it back. I'll give you an example. It's like me. Everybody know my roof leak. But the man said to me, before you try to repair that roof, you better go get a plan drawn. So that means I have to go look for a man to draw the plan, and I find him. Then I got to find some money to pay him. Then it got to be sent down the road to the Ministry of Work so they could approve it.
So you're making changes then.
And so you gotta spend some money that you may not be able to recoup. But this group, this oil refinery, for 2 solid years, they ain't do it yet. They ain't do it yet. I want them to know that there are many Negroes in the government who are dumb and stupid. But there are some sensible F&Ms who are passing me the documents. And they're educating me. And they've told me, one told me today, if I don't believe it, go talk to Brave Davis. Look at him and say, Jesus, the F&M is telling me to go talk to the PLP. And you know what kind of man I am? I say, you sending me to the PLP? He say, man, this ain't got nothing to do with politics. We're trying to save the country. Go talk to Brave Davis. Confirm some of the things that we're telling you. That's what they told me. And I said, boy, this is powerful. When the F&M tell me to go look for the leader of the opposition to confirm so we could save Minis from messing up Grand Bahama, my God, if they can't do the environmental impact report, at least tell us what devastation has been committed with oil investment in Grand Bahama, because we got an oil refinery. But they know that Minis and Peter Turnquest has demonstrated desperation. Be careful. When you are too desperate, that is when manipulation and exploitation takes place. And who will suffer? Poor black people in Grand Bahama. They will suffer because we know that environmental impact in Grand Bahama has been devastating. It has been devastating. But we have to save Grand Bahama, and we understand that this is Paul Skate that Minister signed yesterday. This is Freedom March. I have the F&M providing me with the information, and they say, go talk to Philip Brave Davis. Philip Brave Davis, wherever you are, I'm coming to look for you.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. We are broadcasting on radio. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm flattered by what the people in Radio Land is telling me. Say, Monker, listen, your radio sound good. But let me tell you something. We have the best equipment in the country in this studio. Take it from me. That's what you call investment. That's where you get the investment and get the right stuff. That ain't happening here. And Hubert Ingram has to be upset. You see, ministers don't know that I have access to Hubert Ingram. And I can tell you that when Solomon Kushner, the South African, came here, Ingram did not play with him. Ingram did not play with him. Kushner demonstrated outright because Ingram sent him back. Papa, you ain't know I know this, so forgive me for telling them. But Papa, men are in the country and they're bringing the confidential information. I ain't no fool. All this good information got to be Papa. Because all of them are Papa people. And they're providing me. Papa said, Kushner, I'm pleased with this. Go back and come back after you've done it correctly. And Kushner did it correctly. And when Papa saw the environmental assessment report, when Papa got the report on the money was available. The environmental assessment report was there. And a third report. Then Papa signed. You see me? Hubert Alexander Ingram is no patsy for anyone when it comes to protecting the sovereignty of the country. You hear me? Ingram is smart. Hubert Alexander Ingram is environmentally conscious. And I'll tell you, Papa ain't know I know this. Papa was surrounded by a group of women who believe in the environment. When they was finished, Papa grabbed them and led them environmentally. I could call the woman name, but I ain't gonna call the woman name because I ain't supposed to call the woman name. They give me all the woman name. Man, this some woman name? Say, her, this one, and so forth. Yeah. And Papa made Saul Kushner. That is why Paradise Island was such a success. Because Ingram did not play. See, ain't nothing ministers could do. They can't hide nothing from me. I got Hubert Ingram. Who I got? Got Hubert Alexander Ingram, who tells me. And when Papa may not want to say it because sometimes Papas have so many people in the Praetorian Guard. That's one I see. Every time that person leave, I say, Papa, you see that one just gone? I believe that one is a spy. Papa bust out laugh and say he's not commenting. But I say to Papa, Papa, that got to be a spy. Papa, that one got to be a spy. Papa say, I'm not commenting. And Papa bust out laugh. So what is this taking place here? So the heads of agreement has been signed prematurely. Menace and his government ain't know what they're doing. It's desperation. And I want it to stop. You hear me? It is desperation. Now, when asked what criteria the company was required to satisfy prior to the negotiation of the heads of agreement. Dr. Minnis did not provide much details, but said the Bahamas Investment Authority performed its due diligent work. That isn't true. That is not true. Because a part of the responsibility of the Bahamas Investment Authority is to have up front the environmental impact assessment report. They don't have it. And this company does not need government permission to produce one. This, what Minnis has done, is what I call a Renwood Wells. This is an LOI. That's what this is. Minnis, by signing it prematurely, what happens when the environmental assessment report come back? Suppose it says there is cave under the land.
Then the project would not go ahead, Mr. Martin.
Huh? What? Hold on, my spiritual advisor. Because Papa is speaking.
Yeah, but listen.
Hold on, my spiritual advisor. Do not break my trend. Papa is speaking mystically through me. All right? Now, so what happens then?
Boy.
What happens then? All that Minnis has done is to sign an LOI so that this investor could go around the world shopping to find money. And all of y'all know, I ain't that smart to figure that out. So somebody is in the background telling me that, because I ain't that smart. I ain't that smart. Who in the background is passing me this most vital information? Who? That's what's going on here. Minnis is wrong. This is wrong. And then he goes on to say, BIA would have done financial assessment to ensure funding is there and that Oban can complete the project. This is what Minnis said. We would insist the environmental impact assessment and environmental management plan are done to ensure complete safety of each and every Bahamian as well as the environment. This here, what Minnis is saying, is the first thing that he should have so that you could know that Oban is not pussyfooting. But this is a case where Minnis is the dog and Oban is the tail. And the tail is leading the dog. That's what this is. Y'all think we stupid, eh? Paul Adley, a former PLP Minister of Education and Attorney General, teaches that every one of us went through the school system. And notwithstanding that some people think we are dumb, we have been exposed to an education. And we live in a modern world where we have access to information and to people. I have access to information. I have access to people. And greater than that, I have access to Hubert Ingram. And I have access to the people who still quietly supporting him. And they know that once they point me in the right direction, I will grab the party torch and torch the F&M backside. Because this here has been done incorrectly. And the poor people of Grand Bahama is about to be exposed to another environmental assault on their persons. But Minnis is a medical doctor, and he knows that this prescription is not safe because the necessary investigation needs to be done. So this is an LOI. Him and Renwood Wells together, both of them are nothing but a bunch of picky teeth, man, Toby. They're signing LOI so that this man could go about the place shopping for money. This, according to intelligent people, this is a sign that we should be suspicious of, that they do not have the money. They don't have the money. And Menace is so desperate that he's prepared to sell out the safety of the poor Negro people of Grand Bahama. That is what is going on here. And so we see that when you examine what the investor is saying, the investor is pointing out that when you listen to him, they ain't got no money. That's what this means. And so, let me see if I can find Mr. Kruger. However, said millions have already been spent to assure stakeholders the project is viable. We have all of our financing in place, he said. We already spent a significant amount of money, many millions of dollars in pre-construction to this stage. We've done our geotechnical work, our engineering work, our environmental survey, marine engineering work. We've already made a significant investment. However, in order to move forward with the banks, listen to what he says. Look how he say it right in the presence of the Prime Minister. However, in order to move forward with the banks, we need to deliver certain deliverables, such as our approvals from the government, our permits and everything. This is an LOI. He can now go all over the United States and show them and say, them stupid people in the Bahamas. In fact, that's what the bank will conclude. Because the bank in America is sophisticated bank. They know ignorant people. When they look at that, they would say, boy, oh boy. They would recognize that we are a third world country because we would have given an approval when the fundamentals have not been done. The bank would be suspicious. And I really hope that the bank would report all of y'all to the FBI for taking advantage of the Bahamas. That's what's going on here. It's a LOI. And this is what Menace is doing. Menace might as well have gotten a couple of people here in the Bahamas and give them this LOI agreement and tell them go off, go shop. Because that's what this says. Menace, you think we're stupid, eh? We ain't stupid. We are hungry, but we ain't stupid. And it's not been done. The key things have not been done. Have not been done. See this here? All of this is notes that I had to take down as they educated me. As they educated me. And they said, listen, we can only trust you to tell the people of Grand Bahama what is taking place. And then they began to tell me who are the secret partners. You hear me? Who are the secret partners? Y'all say the PLP is crooked, eh? Listen here. If you want to see crookedness, they tell the PLP come to power and send them to the corruption unit. We'll just be locking up F&Ms. Left, right, and center. Because this is skullduggery. And when you read what is taking place here, my God, Menace has committed a faux pas. And that's what we are faced with. Desperation. People had 2 years to bring us an environmental impact assessment report. What have they been doing? I'm suspicious that they ain't got no money. Hubert Ingram didn't do it this way. I see why Papa's so mad with some of them. All that time he spent promoting them in the government. You know, mentoring them. Some of them got hard head. They ain't learned nothing. All right? This ain't how Ingram do it. This is not how Hubert Alexander Ingram did it. And I'll tell you one thing about Papa. Papa did it so right that his integrity is intact. Minister ain't know what they doing. Man, they dumb? God forgive me for calling them dumb. But man, they are dumb. Selling out this country for a pot of porridge. It's desperation. How we gonna manage? Who can stand up for the poor people of Grand Bahama? All them people that has been poisoned because of the kind of island Grand Bahama is. Industrial, cement, oil, all kind of things. Now minister say he coming with this project, and the man, when you look at this, it makes me suspicious. Make me suspicious. And then when I sit back and think about what Hubert Ingram has been telling me for the last couple of years, and I look back and think about how he dealt with Kirshner, no wonder Kirshner became a success on Paradise Island because Ingram didn't skin up his teeth. He didn't. He didn't. Minister Ingram said, show me the money. And Kirshner showed him the money. Ingram say, the assessment report. Kirshner produced it. And everything Ingram demanded. If Kirshner didn't have it, Papa sent him back for it. But Minister thinks that I don't know. You think when I go to see Ingram, I only go there to sit down and drink tea? I go there to pick his brain and to ask him how the thing go. Because I know we got to watch these scallywags. Hubert Ingram didn't do it this way. And the PLP gave this man enough time. 2016 to 2018. And you ain't do the assessment report yet? Oh boy. I think I'm going to leave it alone. Spiritual advisor, what's on your mind?
Well, Mr. Monka, the reality is I believe a group of local environmentalists would be hired to conduct the impact assessment, right? We should take, I believe, about, 45 days or so? 45 days is 6 weeks, right? So once the findings are revealed, Mr. Monka, I don't believe the government, if the findings are, not right, I don't think the government will go ahead with the project, right? That's the first thing. All right, the second thing is this, Mr. Monka. The group that's responsible for the oil refinery, right? I believe they will hire another group to do the management of the project, right? You know how we have the one and only Ocean Club.
Spiritual advisor.
Just one quick second. You know, one and only Ocean Club is being managed by Four Seasons. You realize that, right? So here we have experienced people now overseeing one of the best resorts on Paradise Island.
This is completely different.
Well, that's the reality.
Do not use that analogy.
Well, this is what the CEO says, that apparently
do not use that analogy.
But once the impact assessment has been revealed by local environmentalists,
beware.
I believe the government will
beware.
Do the right thing.
An investor who comes to the table begging for an agreement, having failed to do.
Yeah, but
listen to me for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Beware. An investor. This ain't me speaking, I'm only repeating it. You heard me? I'm only repeating it. This is not my concept. This is not my idea. I didn't know it. This is what I've been taught. And I now preach it. Beware. An investor coming to the table, having not done the fundamentals, but begging the government to sign an agreement. Or as Renwick Wells would have called it, an LOI. You hear me? This is skullduggery.
45 days.
This is skullduggery.
45 days.
And Hubert Ingram will not do it this way. And wherever Papa is, Papa must be hanging his head down and wondering what kind of Negroes this is he's been working with for years. It smacks of suspicion. And we in trouble.
So let's wait on the impact assessment.
My brother, you do not sign without.
And if the assessment proves negative, Mr. Monka, it was just
no, Minister.
If the assessment is in a negative, then
let's take
harm,
this call, my spiritual advisor.
Foul, no blood.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
It's just a
they have menace by his left testicle. Hello, welcome to Freedom Match. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Rodney.
Yes.
This Wayne Gardner, boy.
Hey, Vin.
Yeah. Look here. Special advisor.
Good
you was my
afternoon.
boy, man.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
You let me down, man.
Who's this? Who's this? Turn your TV down, man, or your
It's
radio.
Wayne Gardner, man.
Wayne Gardner. I can't put a face to this name.
Vin, tell him what's your complaint.
Yeah, what's happening? What you
So we
saying?
can-
Yeah,
answer.
I really have no complaint, but special advisor, you let me down, man.
Okay,
I
how?
was beating you up, man.
How
You let
so?
me down.
How so? Say what I did. What sin have I committed?
No. Are you coming on, man?
How am I coming on?
See, you're you're undermining. Let's be real, man. Let's be real, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
Vin, I think
Okay.
I think he got the point. Okay?
All right. Okay.
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello. Welcome to Freedom Match.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Munker, and to the spiritual advisor.
Hey. Good
Yeah.
afternoon. How you doing, man?
Good. I read this story today about Oban Industries. Now, what I discovered is that this agreement was brought forward in 2016 under the former Christie administration. And they signed it, they approved it, but they told them that they would not assign the heads of agreement until or unless they bring an EIA, Environmental Impact Assessment, which is in order. Now, and also feasibility study, economic feasibility study to see if they have the requisite funds for a $5.5 billion project with a B. Now, I look at this, I see this man, Peter Kruger. He is a he is the chairman, a non-executive chairman. To me, he's a middleman. What is the government doing signing this big old thing, this big old project that gives away many hundreds of acres of land, of Bahamian land in Grand Mama opposite Statoil, and, signing the heads of agreement? The government is operating like rookies. Have a good day, gentlemen.
I thank you. Hello. Welcome to Freedom Match. Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Roll, you have to try and be honest, man. You're supposed to be a Christian. Try and be honest. And I'm not.
Where am I being dishonest here now?
You're being dishonest because we're not stupid, like the senator says. We're not stupid. I'm watching you. I'm hearing you, and every chance you get to defend wrongdoing for the F&M, you do. Plain and simple.
Okay.
Just simply be honest. Mr. Minnis signed that LOI, and I'm going to call it LOI.
Prematurely.
Like Senator do. Listen, no heads of agreement was ever signed without a environmental impact study. None, and money in place.
Yes.
All those things are prerequisites to signing a heads of agreement. You don't sign and then hope to get it at the end of the day. Come on, just call it. Just say it's wrong. That's all.
That's all.
Don't say that they're going to hire people after the fact and go there and find and find do a study. That's supposed to come before any approvals. Before any approvals, Brother Roll.
Okay.
Come on, man. Just be honest. Mr. Minnis was wrong. His government handled it badly. The PLP government gave them the 2 years. They've been at the PLP from 2016, with this project. They were supposed to produce the environment study, and show that they had the money to build it.
They've not done it.
We don't sign heads of agreement without money in place and the environment. That is what they did wrong. It's a messed up deal. Thank you very much.
I thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day, man.
Hello. Welcome to Freedom Match. Hello. Okay. So, my spiritual advisor, what you have here is the Minnis administration is desperate. So they're offering false hope to the people of Grand Bahama. And Grand Bahama cannot take this kind of investment that has caused so much suffering and so much debt. And we have an oil refinery in Grand Bahama. So we know what devastation has taken place.
Okay.
It is wrong. It is wrong. Captain, the ship is sinking. Captain, tell us what to do. Shall we jump aboard or will we sink? Captain, what the hell are you doing signing that bogus agreement? Menace, you better go back to the people. Call an election.
Do you have something to say to the senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. Praise the Lord, we got radio. So we are broadcasting on 105.3 FM, The Beat. Tout le monde haïtien, nous gain radio. And so, nous broadcast na 105.3 FM, Batla, The Beat. My spiritual advisor, praise the Lord, is Bradley Roll. Bradley, how are you?
I'm taking a lot of flack today, Mr. Monka. Apparently, everybody's upset with the government signing this heads of agreement with this project in Grand Bahama.
It isn't done that way.
Yeah, okay.
Hubert Ingram had one of the biggest investment when the FNM came to power in 1992.
Yeah, Saul Kirshner.
Ingram manhandled Kirshner. The FNM under Ingram was desperate for employment. The PLP having just been voted out, there were mass unemployment. But Ingram was sober. Papa was not drunk. And Papa managed it. And let me tell you something. You take it from me. Hubert Ingram sent Saul Kirshner back. Ain't too many Negroes know this. And I claim the privilege of being one of the Negroes in this country who knew that the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram sent Kirshner back. Kirshner knew that he was dealing with man, capital M-A-N, man. And when Kirshner come back with everything, Papa went over it. And Papa approved it. And there was no hitch. There was nothing that went contrary because Hubert Ingram, he used a common sense approach. And he didn't allow economic desperation to take control of his judgment. Not only that, let me throw a parable to Menace so Menace would know. Papa made sure that friends, family, and lover were kept far to the back. And the word to the wise is sufficient. Let me repeat it again. Papa, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram, made sure that nothing compromised him. And we saw how Atlantis came up out of the ocean. And when Kirshner was in charge of it, it was a jewel in the tourism crown of this part of the world. All right? Anybody on the phone? Hello? Find me some decks.
Mr. Rodney.
Sir.
How are you?
Listen, I'm here. What's on your mind?
I'm one of the man, but you have next you. He's not one of the man. He need to stick with his Bible, and he don't know much about the Bible.
Oh, don't attack the spiritual
I'm not
advisor.
attacking him.
He's a
I'm not
savior,
attacking
man.
him. With all due respect, spiritual advisor, you're too biased, man. You're too biased.
Okay.
You need to learn something from the senator.
Okay, no problem.
You know?
So
listen to him. What he's saying. He's talking the truth.
No problem. So I don't have a right to an opinion.
No, you stick with your Bible, your scripture where you know.
No, but you tell me I don't know much about the Bible, so I'm going to give that up too.
Man.
And that's your opinion. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Anyway, sir, I thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Take care.
Anybody else on the radio or the TV? Goodness me, I got so much things here. There's There's TV. Lord, I thank you that just the other day I had TV. Now I got TV and radio. Lord, bless the TV even when I'm not here. And bless the radio even when I'm not here. And Lord, bless Papa for opening up the radio waves and the TV waves. Hello, anybody on the phone?
Yeah, somebody's there.
Welcome to Freedom March.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Spiritual advisor.
Hey, good afternoon. How you doing?
Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon.
I keep praying for you because you're doing a good job with your patients besides that gentleman that you're working with. I agree with you. I agree with you. Because how much heads of agreement the PLP sign and nothing never comes out of it.
Right.
If something is wrong with this deal, we will get off of this ship.
Yeah, the government will not go forward with it. Yes.
So I don't see what this Mr. Munker is thinking.
That is not the standard.
That
is not the standard.
Made you senator.
Okay.
Ever before.
Okay, but that is not the standard.
That Butler woman.
Goodness of mercy.
Didn't look like she knew what she was doing.
Tell me when you finish attacking me.
Senator.
Okay.
No, I ain't attacking you.
That is not. Listen, I want you to remain focused. That is not. We do not measure the F&M by the standard of the PLP. Other than that, you would not have voted them out. Let us measure the F&M by a standard that Hubert Alexander Ingram created. I said standard.
Yes.
Let's stick to a principle.
And Menace is doing a great job.
No, sir.
He's a good businessman. Way better than you are.
Listen to me. If the United States government gave me the contract that they gave Menace, I'll be a multi-millionaire.
But they ain't give it to you.
Right.
Because you ain't
hang up on this Negro man. And
be nice.
Booyaka.
Be nice.
You stop it, my spiritual advisor.
But be nice.
He is setting, let's stay focused, a standard of signing an agreement based on what he says the PLP standard. You voted the PLP out. So Menace standard is Hubert Alexander Ingram standard. And anytime you do it contrary to that, Menace is on the wrong track. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. These bunch of no good F&Ms.
Hey, good. Hey, Mr. Munker, what do you say?
Right here, my brother.
Hey, special advisor, who's my boy, man, don't worry about that, okay? You know this is a PLP show. But anyway, Mr. Munker.
I'm not a PLP. This is an F&M show.
Mr. Munker.
Yes.
I hope whenever the PLP win in 2050, I hope you all scrutinize them like how you all scrutinize the PLP, because guess what? Papa was under scrutinization for that road. Everything Papa did, you all talk about them. And I remember when the PLP had you lock up, and you told everybody the PLP could kill you. So guess what? You better watch out what you say, because the F&M can stay in power until 2050.
You finished?
No, I want you to answer.
Have a good day.
All right.
All right. So, folks, let us stay focused. And the focus is a standard that Ingram set. And take it from me, I even didn't talk this matter with Ingram, but I'm authorized to speak on his behalf. And I will speak on behalf of the former Prime Minister.
Well, not on this matter, though.
Yes, sir. I have the record.
But listen,
my spiritual advisor.
But you've not had a discussion with the former Prime Minister.
Mr. Ingram has authorized me. I want you to listen to 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 me. Ingram has authorized me to speak on his behalf.
But on matters that you all have gone over.
Even when we have not discussed.
Yeah, I don't know if that's right.
You know how many things I discuss in Ingram's name? Have you seen him rebutted?
You got to be careful of that, though.
I know.
You don't want to put him in a position that he doesn't want to be in.
My brother, when he selected... Hold on a second. I was minding my own business when he approached me,
to be a spokesman?
Yeah. And I have his records. And I have his men quietly assisting me. Papa men.
It's amazing, eh?
Yeah. And they have provided me with the information, and they have said to me, they said, listen, Menace signing has gone below a standard that Hubert Ingram has set. And I got all the notes here. All right? Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Speak to me.
Hey, Mr. Ronk, how you doing?
Right here, my brother. What's on your mind?
Mr. Monkey, let's be real.
Okay.
This is a government just putting a white face out there to get some props. That's all it is, you know. They done say in the newspaper it's a non-executive person. So that means he's not a part of the company. That's just putting a white face out there so they could sign this agreement for the man to go look for funds, like you say.
That's what this is. This is an LOI. I'm convinced that Renwood will show Minutes how to do it.
You see, and only because there's a white face, you have people fighting for this, but you know, white face can defeat this. They did the same thing when they sold the princess to Buddy Meyer. Buddy Meyer come with no money, and Buddy Meyer gave it all the insurance money.
Wow.
Fell through.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. When it comes to negotiating with white people, Hubert Ingram surpassed Minutes, because Papa did it right. You take good care, my brother.
Sir.
This is powerful. Anybody else on the phone? My spiritual advisor, do you have any of our radio thing?
Of course I do, Mr.
You sure? Because the bat's got plenty days.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? My people, speak to me. Because I'm speaking for Hubert Alexander Ingram, and Papa can't be pleased with this. Hello? Spiritual advisor.
Up and then dial your...
Read text.
All right.
See what my people are saying.
Let's see what's on the mind.
I'm supposed to talk about Bahama today.
You let me read the text?
Yeah, but there's so many pressing information coming up. National insurance strike for 15 minutes. National insurance will strike tomorrow. I need national insurance to March because we have TV station. And I'd like for reporters them to come and video y'all. March. And if y'all ain't too busy, march around this station. So we wouldn't have to go too far. Hello. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello.
Hello.
My love.
Hi. Good evening, Mr. Monk. How are you doing?
I am fine, my dear. How are you?
I'm spiritual advisor. How are you doing?
I'm fine. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Great.
Now, one thing I wanted to say, now let me remind that gentleman who called a while ago saying they don't know why the Bahamian people making noise but this deal the government signed. Let me tell you, when the PLP did it, the people make noise. So tell that man, shut up. Doesn't matter which government do it. If the people afraid, the people going to make noise, whether it be FNN or PLP.
That is true.
The people them going to make noise. So tell that man, shut up.
Not only that, the PLP tell this company 2 years ago.
So tell them don't go there.
To do an environmental assessment or an environmental impact assessment, and 2 years later they ain't do it yet? Huh? And they go to Minutes, and Minutes sign? Lord, forgive me, but this is dumb. This is dumb. Anyway, my love.
Yeah, because exactly. That's why the PLP did hold off on one agreement. They wasn't too sure, but they said they did, Perry did not sign it.
Oh, no, he didn't. Now Minutes sign it. Anyway.
So tell him, don't go there.
I tell him.
Nonsense.
Tell him Ching Wong 42. My spiritual advisor read text because 6 o'clock soon come.
Can I read text now? Finally?
Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Man.
What are the people saying?
Days and days. Mr. Monk, you need to be quiet. I'm sure Brave Davis, Bradley Roberts, and all those others getting advice from are not only the smartest persons in our Bahamas. I'm sure the Prime Minister's cabinet and MPs know what they're doing. They have smart men and women in there for them too, you know. So you need to sit back and let them do their work. Stop complaining, Mr. Monk. You're being negative all the time. I mean, how is this supposed to help the country? Get used to the defeat at the polls, Mr. Monker. Good afternoon, Mr. Monker and spiritual advisor. Mr. Monker is so biased when callers talk about the PLP. You let FNM talk, and when they call about the government, you cut them off, Mr.
Listen,
Monker.
Listen, I FNM. I's FNM and Papa ain't please. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh my God! Remember, this is the same government who did the insurance for the hurricane too. You know, they signed that quickly just to show off that they got the power to do it.
You mean the FNM?
Yeah, when they signed a hurricane thing and only get $200,000 back for $2 million.
Yeah.
So we have to really scrutinize the government as they do these things unjudiciously.
That is true, my brother. And
thank you, Mr. Monko.
I thank you. I even forget the F&M pull that dirty trick. Go ahead, my spiritual advisor. Read text.
There we go. Good day. I am an F&M. We can't praise a deal if we don't know what's in the deal. We got to be behaving first and stop praising these parties. Let's look at people's health, not just jobs and big investments.
Right.
People dying in Freeport and they don't know what caused it. Let's look at the long-term effect and not the short-term.
Right. That's a good F&M.
Interesting text. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Tell Mr. Monka.
Yes.
Move bench from Bama parking lot. What taxi driver's bill? I don't understand this text.
Go ahead. Next text.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. Every time I go to the new hospital in Abaco, I get sick. I think it's the air conditioning system. Can we find out if the AC has ever been serviced?
Okay. We'll have to find that out. Hello. Welcome to Freedom March. Hello. Hello once. Hello. Good afternoon, Mr. Monka. Could you ask Urban Renewal when are they going to help the people in Grand Bahama with their home repairs and not just friends and lovers?
Mr. Monka, my father died 2 years ago, this past January, and I have yet to receive the last long-term old age pension that they admitted they did not pay him before he died. 2 years and counting. They always turn me around every month. If we would have been getting interest on the funds, they would pay out right away. I need this money. Mr. Monco.
Look, the estate can sue National Insurance. If the money is $5,000 or less, take out a summons in the magistrate court and sue them. You name the Attorney General, you name the Brensel Roll, who's the minister, and you take them to court. Okay? Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Are you there? Hello? You better give me somebody else.
Mr. Monka, there's nothing wrong with what Dr. Menace did. Sorry, Mr. Monka, there's nothing wrong with what Menace has done. That's not a concern. I'll tell you this, though. Your point about them not doing the assessment 2 years later, that's concerning for me.
Of course. Of course. These are major things. Listen to me. Hubert Ingram would not have signed the agreement. I could talk authoritatively. And Menace has the files. You hear me? Ingram would not have done it. How I know? Papa talks to me. You see, I count my blessing. And I thank God that Ingram, notwithstanding that he's busy, he gives me the time. He shows me that little respect. And I'm grateful that I can say to him, why is this happening like this? Or why did you do it like that? And he tells me, hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Read text, my spiritual advisor.
Okay, let me see.
Papa tells me, I believe there are only two people that Hubert Ingram tells, Candia Dames and me. Because I work for Papa, and Candia works for Papa. Candia Dames. Okay? I work for Papa, Candia works for Papa. And Papa tell me thanks. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Hello.
Yes?
How you doing, Zamanka?
Right, you, sir.
Your spiritual advisor, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
Let me say at the top of the topic.
Yes.
Spiritual advisor, you're doing a very good job.
I appreciate
I'm proud of what you're doing, sir.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, and Mr. Manka?
Sir?
Don't cut me off now.
I won't. Just don't curse.
I'm not going to. I'm a Christian like you.
Okay.
Let me say to you, Mr. Manka, Mr. Menace is the Prime Minister of the Bahamas.
That is true.
But you keep on saying Papa is not the Prime Minister. Mr. Menace is the Prime Minister.
We know.
And you keep on putting Papa in there.
Because Papa speaks through me.
I understand all of that.
Okay.
But you gotta give Minister priority. He is the Prime Minister.
Yeah, but he's doing it incorrectly.
But don't care what he's doing, he still is the Prime Minister.
Yes,
please.
but the Prime Minister is messing up the country.
Oh, man, but listen.
Yeah.
One thing I can't understand, right?
What is that?
You keep on saying you're F&M. What kind of F&M you are?
I'm an honest F&M. I'm a Hubert Alexander Ingram F&M.
No, but Hubert Ingram is not the Prime Minister.
He's greater than the Prime Minister. You
But
take
he's
it,
still
yeah.
the Prime Minister. Okay, what you trying to push on? He's not the Prime Minister.
Booyaka! Booyaka! Hello? Welcome to Freedom Match.
Lord, what is this?
I had to throw lightning at him.
Man.
Hello?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon, sir.
Spiritual advisor, Mr. Munker.
Sir.
You see, they had a robbery in Carmichael Road, right, at Domino's, right?
When?
I was talking about it yesterday, about the zones. But anyway, let me go quick on what I was going to say.
Okay.
This is powerful. Why didn't Mr. Ferrer, who was the Minister of
the Environment,
I don't know if he was there or why he didn't speak, then would have been powerful too if Michael Pine and the other gentleman for the three was there, but I didn't see Michael Pine and the next gentleman for Freeport.
You mean during the vote of no confidence?
No, not the vote of no confidence.
What?
I mean with the signing yesterday.
Yeah, okay.
That would have been powerful, you understand?
Yes.
If they were there.
If they were there.
And Ferrer there to speak on the environment.
Yeah. Well,
these things didn't happen.
I don't know where Rummy was. So it's difficult. And in the case of Pastor Michael Pine, don't forget what kind of man he was. Philip Brave Davis almost saved him. But he lost because he half-stepped and he didn't go all the way. You take good care, my brother. You're a good man. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello? Speak to me.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Mr. Munker.
Sir.
Spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Good.
Great.
Mr. Munker.
Sir.
Do you remember the last time you were on Green Turtle Key?
The last time I was there?
Yeah.
What happened? The lights are off?
No.
What happened?
How long ago that was?
I was in Green Turtle Key just the other day, you know.
No, I'm talking about 15 years ago.
Listen, I don't remember.
Okay, well, I want to remind you
Okay.
that you were here running down Hubert Ingram. I want you to know that.
You mean 15 years ago?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Papa was wrong 15 years ago.
Okay, so the same man what was wrong 15 years ago is still wrong today.
No. Papa position on how to sign a heads of agreement was right 15 years ago, and it's right today. When I criticize Ingram, I criticize Ingram on other political issues. All right? Don't confuse that.
No. If the man was no good then, you condemned the man back 15 years ago, he's still no good today.
No. You have it mixed up.
I ain't got nothing mixed up.
Listen to me. What kind of country are you?
Hey, what's happening? You all right?
You need to give Jesus to Mr. Munker. Thank you.
Okay.
Once Mr. Munker is willing to accept.
Hello?
I agree with you.
I have another call. My spiritual advisor.
Let's read some text.
Read text. Yeah. I don't know what that conquers your mind from Green Turtle
He's
Key.
saying you're not saved, Mr. Munker. Mr. Munker, do you know if government don't pass this oil agreement, they will have to pay those people back? I work for one of the men there.
Really?
Wow. So that text say.
Okay.
There's no coincidence for people who commit crimes. That's why I say the speaker has resigned, or else there would be no consequences and repercussions.
Yes.
Parliamentarian demeanor and behavior and attitude and manner of expressions and tone in Parliament is not good. I don't feel proud to be Bahamian again. I am not happy with what is happening, especially in Parliament. Should we do to Parliament what Guy Fawkes did to the English Parliament? Lord help us. They need to go back to school, be educated, and function in their position. What's your take on that? Mr. Munker, Ronnie Jane Charles.
Yes?
Born in the Bahamas or not born in the Bahamas?
What did he say? What did he say? Repeat it again.
Ronnie Jane Charles. Oh, sorry. Ronnie Jane Charles nor any other person born in the Bahamas of foreign parents are not Bahamian. They are supposed to secure their parents' country citizenship.
Oh, stop talking nonsense. The Constitution doesn't say that. Stop it.
Yeah.
All right? tout le monde haïtien, comment yé? Dis merci, Jevele, les mois arrivent, m'a parlé pour père moi yo haïtien, but lundi passé, m'a petit déclaré haïtien, la joue des haïtiens, but I didn't do it. I was supposed to declare Monday Haitian Day. I didn't do it. They're topical issues, okay? But we'll get around to that. Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Good evening, Mr. Spiritual Advisor and Sandra. None of those pastors in the house are saved. They don't even have the spirit of discernment. Else they would have known what is wrong, what is right.
Well,
Stand
we know.
for truth, and honestly,
We know that.
I'm not finished. Read the text.
Sorry about that, my spiritual
and
advisor.
honestly, I cry shame on Michael Pine. He
Oh,
disappointed me. The Bible says it's what comes out of the man that defiles him.
This
not
is
what
true.
Goes out. And it seems as if the speaker may have shown his true colors.
Well, the speaker must resign. We're not finished with the speaker. All right? Mr. Speaker, I'm still under the authority of Hubert Ingram. And he wanted to know if I am continuing to apologize for your wickedness. I told Papa I did apologize to Mrs. Philip Brave Davis and Marie. And Papa's pleased. But you're going to have to resign, okay? Papa is pleased. Listen, we got to go. Is it 6 o'clock already?
Yes, it is.
You sure?
Yes, it is.
Goodness of mercy. Listen, folks. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk about Carl Battle because there are more things. I'm going to talk about marital rape because I have new information that must be shared with you. Take good care. Goodbye. God save the Queen.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.